Hello, I'm Dr. Nick Delgado, and I'm with a great friend, Dr. Paul Savage, the developer of Power to Practice, an incredible software that helps doctors to integrate integrative medicine with their practice and get to the new way of practicing medicine. You know, you and I go back. It's
For
interesting.
a long time, yes.
A long time, many years. And we were probably some of the early, if you will, pioneers. I mean, there wasn't too many of us teaching and researching this and lecturing about it.
You would be correct. Even back in the days when AFRAM was first developed, at some of the first conferences, we were within the first 100 groups of physicians that saw this as a very fruitful and very necessary endeavor.
What attracted you to lifestyle and anti-aging medicine and integrative medicine? I take three different ones and I'm going to put them all together. What attracted you to that, Dr. Paul
So
Savage?
that's an easy answer. It was twofold.
Yeah.
After being the nighttime director at one of the largest trauma centers in the country and becoming frustrated at how little the things I was doing in the ER was preventing people from getting to those events, seeing people come in with 40 with heart attacks, seeing obesity get larger. I was getting frustrated that the field I was in wasn't really making the difference in the world that I'd hoped. The second thing is, after 10 years in the ER, from the stress, the not eating well, the not sleeping, I got up to be 267 pounds.
Wow.
And physically I was a mess. And it was my own personal journey as well and it ended up going outside traditional. I had to start looking at other approaches to get me back to where I felt like I had a quality life.
Yeah. And quality of life, I mean, we look at our own lives and sometimes we get caught up with what we're doing, but then we have to step back and say, what's going on in my life?
Well, especially when we have behaviors that are both endorsed by society, but they're innate, and I know in you and I know in me. If I'm not careful, I can immerse myself into my work life completely at the expense of not sleeping enough, at not working out, and not grabbing what's on the fly to eat. So that is something that I've learned over the last 15 years is a very valuable lesson for me, is making balance is the key.
Right. I think back about the early lectures that I presented, and people like yourself would come up and ask questions, and then I attended your lecture, and it was just great to see, the student is out there just doing a great job, and it's an evolution, though.
That was many years ago and many lectures ago. I think both of us have categorized 4-digit numbers in the lecture category. So,
yeah. So when you look at lifestyle medicine, what has it done for you? What parts of it have you embraced into your own lifestyle now?
One of the interesting stories that your readers or your listeners may be interested in hearing is, back in the day when I was overweight and attended one of your lectures, one of the first things that you taught me that I didn't know anything about was nutrition. I remember coming out of my physician, who was a traditional physician, with high cholesterol, high prediabetes, hypertension, overweight, fatigue, no libido, and him telling me what many physicians told them: it's just stress, it won't kill you, you need to go eat better, and you need to go exercise. And I walked out of his office, and halfway down it was one of those 7 corners of your life where you have those epiphanies that I have no idea what that means. Yeah. And as a medical director and in the emergency medicine, it was astounding that I didn't know how to eat better. So one of our first encounters was me learning from you how to eat well, and most of those practices I still do to this very day. It hasn't changed.
Yeah. Well, you came to my living center, and we were diligent and went through step by step. And sometimes it takes that step-by-step process. How do you do a blended drink? What goes in it? How long does it stay in there? How do you make it tasty? And then you came up with some recipes.
I'm a little bit inquisitive. I think Nick will let you know I ask a lot of questions.
Well, that's the way you learn, and you adapt it as your behavior.
But I agree with you. For me, immersion has always been the best learning tool. Yeah. So when I came to your living center and spent some time actually there, and then you were teaching me how to eat. You were teaching me how to exercise. You were teaching me how to do it outside at the beach in the sunset.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, it was a blast. But at the time, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Now, 15 years later, it makes all the sense in the world, because exercise, like everything else you do in life, is something you should be grateful for and that you should enjoy, and you should relax while you're doing it.
Yes.